Welcome to English Podcast, Story for Listening. This is a place where you can listen, learn, and practice English, slowly and clearly. Today's story is about motivation, about never giving up, even when learning English feels difficult. Our story is called The Story of Leo. So sit back, relax, and enjoy this story. Listen carefully, repeat when you can, and learn new words as you go. A difficult beginning. Leo was 22 years old. He lived in a small town in Spain. He worked in a coffee shop near the train station. Every day, many people came into the shop. Some were locals, and some were travelers from other countries. Leo was a kind person. He always smiled and said, "Good morning," or "How are you?" But there was one problem. He didn't speak English well. When tourists came to the shop and asked for coffee, Leo tried to understand, but sometimes he felt nervous. He didn't know what to say. One day, a customer from England asked, "Can I have an oat milk cappuccino, please?" Leo froze. He didn't know what oat milk meant. He smiled and said, Cappuccino, yes. Milk. Normal milk, okay?" The man smiled politely, but Leo could see confusion in his eyes. After the man left, Leo felt embarrassed. He said quietly to himself, "I must learn English. I must understand." That night, when Leo went home, he opened his phone. He searched on YouTube, "How to learn English easily." He watched a video of a teacher speaking slowly. The teacher said, "Learning English is not about being perfect. It's about being brave." Leo liked that. He decided to start learning every day, even if it was just 10 minutes. The next morning, Leo woke up early. He made coffee, sat at his small kitchen table, and opened his notebook. He wrote, "Goal: learn English." Then he wrote 3 steps under it. Listen every day. Learn 5 new words. Speak, even if I make mistakes. He smiled and said, "Yes, I can do this." Every morning before work, Leo listened to English podcasts. He didn't understand everything, but he tried to catch words he knew. Coffee, morning, work, people. Sometimes he repeated after the speaker. He said the words slowly. "Good morning. How are you? Would you like some coffee?" At work, he practiced with tourists. When someone came to the counter, he smiled and said, "What would you like to drink today?" The first few times, he made mistakes. He mixed words. He forgot grammar. But he kept going. Every mistake became a small lesson. After 2 months of practice, something amazing happened. One afternoon, a woman from Canada came to the coffee shop. She smiled and said, "Hi, can I get a cappuccino with soy milk, please?" Leo understood every word. He repeated it back. "Cappuccino with soy milk. Yes, of course." The woman smiled. "Wow, your English is good," she said. Leo laughed shyly. "Oh, thank you. I'm learning." For the rest of the day, Leo felt proud. He had worked hard, and now he could understand and reply in English. It was a small success, but it felt big. That night, he wrote in his notebook, "Today I understood everything. Don't stop." A few weeks later, Leo started to feel tired. He worked long hours. He didn't always have time to study. Some days, he didn't want to open his notebook. He thought, "What's the point? English is too hard." One night, he sat on his bed and looked at his notebook. He whispered, "I'm not good enough. I will never speak like a native." He closed his book and turned off the light. The next morning, his manager Carlos noticed Leo was quiet. "Leo, what's wrong?" he asked. Leo said, "I'm tired. I think I will stop learning English. It's too difficult." Carlos smiled kindly. "Leo," he said, "do you know how I learned English?" Leo looked surprised. "You? You speak English so well." Carlos laughed. "Yes, but when I started, I could only say hello and thank you. I practiced every day, little by little. And one day, I realized I could understand everything." Leo listened carefully. Carlos continued, "You don't need to be perfect, Leo. You just need to keep going. Small steps, every day. That's the secret." Leo smiled slowly. "Small steps," he repeated. "Yes, I can do that." Leo started again. He decided not to quit. He changed his study routine. Now he learned English while doing other things. He listened to English songs while cleaning. He watched English movies with subtitles. He even started writing short diary entries in English. At first, his sentences were simple. "Today I went to work. I made coffee. I am tired." But after some weeks, his writing became better. Today was busy at the coffee shop. A customer from Japan visited. We spoke in English, and I felt happy. Leo could feel his confidence growing. One morning, a big surprise came. Carlos, the manager, called Leo to the office. "Leo," he said, "I have news for you. Next month, we are opening a new coffee shop in London. We need someone who can speak some English and help the new team. Would you like to go?" Leo was shocked. "Me? To London?" Carlos smiled. "Yes, you. You've worked hard. You've learned English. You can do it." Leo's heart started to beat fast. He was scared, but also excited. That night, Leo called his mother. "Mama, he said. I'm going to London. His mother said, Really? I'm so proud of you, my son. You worked hard. You didn't give up. Leo smiled and said, Yes, I didn't give up. A few weeks later, Leo arrived in London. Everything was new. The streets, the people, the weather. But he was ready. At first, he found it difficult. People spoke quickly. The accents were different. When someone said, Cheers, mate, Leo didn't understand what it meant. But he kept listening. He wrote new words in his notebook every day. He practiced speaking with his new coworkers. Sometimes he made mistakes, but he always smiled and said, Sorry, I'm still learning. People were kind. They said, No problem, Leo. Your English is getting better. 1 month later, the manager of the London cafe asked Leo for a favor. Leo, she said, next week we have an international coffee event. We need someone to welcome guests and say a few words. Can you do it? Leo's eyes went wide. Me? Speak? In front of everyone? The manager smiled. Yes, just a short speech. You'll do great. Leo was nervous, but he agreed. That night, he practiced his speech again and again. He stood in front of the mirror and said, Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our coffee shop. We are happy to see you here today. He made small mistakes, but he didn't stop. He practiced every day until he felt ready. When the day came, he stood in front of the audience. His hands were shaking, but he took a deep breath and spoke slowly and clearly. Good evening, everyone. My name is Leo. I come from Spain. 1 year ago, I could not speak English, but today I can talk with all of you. I want to say, never give up. Every small step is progress. Thank you. The room became silent for a moment, and then everyone clapped. Leo smiled, with tears in his eyes. That night, Leo walked home under the London lights. He felt proud, grateful, and free. He remembered his first day at the coffee shop, when he didn't understand oat milk. Now, he could speak in front of a crowd. He thought, learning English changed my life. He took out his notebook and wrote his final words on the last page. Never stop learning. Small steps every day. Leo's story teaches us something important. Learning English is not only about grammar or vocabulary or perfect pronunciation. It's about courage. It's about taking one small step every day, even when you don't feel ready. Maybe you are like Leo. Maybe you feel shy, or afraid, or unsure. But remember, every small word you learn, every sentence you say, every mistake you make, they all matter. So don't stop. Keep going. Your English will grow, just like Leo's did. Thank you for listening to English Podcast Story for Listening. If you like this story, listen again tomorrow. Repeat, practice, and feel your English improve. Remember Leo's words. Never stop learning. Small steps every day. See you in the next episode. Goodbye.